guys, it is Aoife from Fred We See Dead Laughing, and I'm here with a book review today. So I recently read The Last Horseman by David Gilman, and I was sent this copy for in exchange for an honest review by House of Zeus. And this book came out at the start of August, and I'm also part of the blog tour for this book as well, which is really exciting. So this book is like an historical drama, and it is based about a man called Joseph Radcliffe, who is a liberal American living in Dublin, Ireland, and he's acting as a lawyer to a lot of Irish rebels or Irish Republicans during their fight against the British, because obviously Britain is in control of Ireland in the early 1900s. And then his son runs away to join the British Army over in South Africa to join the Boer War, and Joseph Radcliffe basically has to go over to South Africa to try and save his son from being killed on the battlefield, and he is joined by his American countryman and best friend Ben Pierce, and it's basically kind of about all this kind of family drama and rich historical kind of setting, and it's just really good. I was actually really pleasantly surprised with this book. I haven't read anything about the Boer War before, so I really wasn't sure what to expect going into it, and I actually came out of it feeling really pleased, really happy that I picked it up, that I decided to read it and to review it, because I really enjoyed my reading experience of this, and I hope a lot of other people will as well. First of all, the way this story is told is really compelling. I really felt drawn into the story. There's obviously a lot of historical research has gone into this, there's a lot of effort has gone into this. It felt very real, nothing seemed out of place, it seemed very real for the time it was set in, and I just really enjoyed kind of the interactions between the British and the Irish rebels, how the Irish rebels or Republicans, they were called, and also Fenians, they're referred to as Fenians a lot in this book, how they were treated in terms of a lot of them didn't seem to get a fair trial before they were hung in the jails. And yeah, I just really loved it as an Irish person myself, and knowing a bit about that kind of Irish history I really enjoyed. But I actually knew nothing about the Irish that fought in the Boer War on both sides. So there was the Irish that were fighting in the British Army, and then there were also Irish people who went over to South Africa to be with the kind of the other people on the Boer War. I can't really say South Africans because it seems like there was a big mix of people on that side. You had, I think, some native South Africans, then you also had a lot of Dutch people and German people, and obviously there was a huge load of Irish people that basically went over just so they would have an excuse to fight the British, and so they would have an excuse to fight the Irish fighting for the British, which was almost a bigger affront to them. Like, that was just the worst thing they could imagine, Irish people fighting alongside the British. Like, why would they do that? So they wanted to fight the Irish men fighting with the British as well. So I never knew a lot about that. I never knew there was Irish people in the war on both sides, so it was like a history lesson for me as well. And then obviously I did know a lot about the Boer War, so I found out the kind of different nationalities that were all involved in the Boer War against the British. And this book is quite violent at times, obviously it is showing war. There is very little mercy given to those who come up against some of the armies and some of the rebels. So now and again, you know, I could kind of tell something bad was happening, and I knew there was very little that could probably be done about it, that you know, the bad thing was probably going to happen, because this is a very real depiction, I guess, of what war is like. It doesn't really give easy passes. If you're in the war, you're most likely going to get hurt, the chance that you're going to die is very high. So, you know, there was a lot of that for different characters. You kind of knew that they are very possibly going to die, so that was kind of kept me on the edge of my seat as well while I was reading it. One of the biggest narratives that I found really interesting in this book was of Radcliffe's best friend, Ben Pierce. And Ben Pierce fought with Joseph in the American I think it was the American Civil War that they fought in together, and Ben was actually an African American, so he's living in Dublin as a black man, and then he goes over, he has relative freedom living in Dublin, and, you know, having England is one of the places that abolished the slave trade, I guess, so he had relative freedom in England and in Ireland, going around as a black man. But then he went over to South Africa, obviously, with Joseph to try and bring back Joseph's son, Edward, and he ended up kind of being in a little bit of a difficult situation where people kind of presumed that he was a African man, that he was an African native, that he was just there as a servant to the British Army. He needed all kinds of papers and passes to be able to go places. He needed like special passes by the kind of captains in the British Army to say that this man, you know, is okay to go where he will. And then there was a lot of great reactions from the African natives of how they saw Ben, you know, riding side by side with a white man as his equal, you know, as his partner in crime basically, and, you know, dressed up, has his own horse, dressed very nicely, has his weapons. And I just really loved reading that. It was a really interesting part of the book for me, and just his own kind of little kind of journey there, the way he was experiencing things and how he became friends with some of the African men that were helping out the British Army. And hearing their story and their side of things as well was really great for me, and I really enjoyed it. And obviously this does have the horses in it. It is called The Last Horseman. There are some nice little horse sections for people who do like horsey books. It is obviously not entirely based around horsemanship or horses, but there were a few nice bits in between, and one horse in particular that is Joseph Radcliffe's, which is supposed to be, you know, this guy on the cover, the last horseman, that is very striking. The scenes with him in it are really great. You can really kind of see what is happening, you can hear the horse running, you can really see him kind of appearing on the horizon out of nowhere, like fast as the speed of light basically, the way he's described in this book. And that was great. As a horsey person, I really enjoyed that. I could really see it and feel it and stuff like that, so I really enjoyed that as well. So overall I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars because I really got everything that I needed out of it. I got things that I wasn't expecting to get out of it. I really enjoyed it. I was really glued until the very last page. I was left quite satisfied at the ending. And yeah, I'm just really glad that I read this. I'm definitely going to try and pick up more of David Gilman's work because the writing was just really great. Everything was, as I said, researched really nicely, and it was very atmospheric, and I was just totally there. I really enjoyed it, and I definitely recommend people to pick it up, especially if you're a fan of historical fiction, or if you're just wanting to know a little bit more about the Boer War that you don't really know about. This is definitely a nice little one to pick up for that. So now I will get on with revealing the winner of the giveaway. So obviously, as I said in my weekly wrap up a couple of weeks ago, that Head of Zeus very kindly asked if I wanted to participate in a giveaway for this, and I said yes, of course. So I have all the people who commented said that they wanted to enter in this little purse here. All the papers are in there, if you can see. Oh, one fell out. So I'm just going to pick a random piece of paper out of here, and that is going to be the giveaway winner. So I think what I will do is whoever wins, if you guys can just comment down below and let me know your Twitter handle, and then I will follow you, you will follow me, and I will direct message you and try and get your contact details so I can pass them on to the publisher then, and they can send you on the book. So I have someone here, and it is Amber Eats Books, so if you guys can see that. Amber Eats Books. So Amber, I'm not sure if I'm following you on Twitter already, but I will go and follow you now, and if you are following me, just give me a quick direct message, or I will message you, and we can sort it all out ourselves. So that is that. So thank you guys for watching. I really hope you guys pick up this book because, as I said, it was a really great read, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye!